What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, aka Darth Apocalypse. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to the brother Gizmo for the donation to the channel via the Cash App. Salute to you for showing love once again. And this particular video, I'll bring some unfortunate news when it comes to the Carnival cruise. It was last year that we had a big brawl that ensued. I think it was last summer. And now we've had another incident, which is another black eye to Carnival cruise. And many people are starting to wonder about the quality and safety of their experience with Carnival cruise with these repeated incidences having occurred. So I'm reading from the New York Post. Over a dozen wild Carnival cruise passengers banned after massive Miami brawl that sent luggage flying. 16 would-be vacationers were banned from Carnival cruise after a massive brawl in the Florida customs line this past Monday. The knockdown, drag-out fight involved more than a dozen people of all genders, throwing wild punches, sending stanchions and luggage flying at a customs checkpoint in Miami-Dade County. Videos on social media show. The fricas was between two feuding families, local law enforcement say. And this is the video right here.
My mama beat her ass then. That's a kid. That's a kid. That's a kid, shorty. Y'all ass tweaking. Hey, DJ, watch out. I'm good. I'm fine. Baby, because you. Listen. It's a baby over here.
Oh boy. No arrests were made or charges pressed, but 16 people ended up on Carnival's no-sale list, the company told media outlets. One bystander quipped, "I'm about to skip the line watching the flurry of bodies and fists." It was the second big-time brawl in as many months for the cruise line. Wow, so I didn't even know it was another one last month. Two women were charged in May for assault after getting in a fight aboard a Carnival ship on the way back to Alabama. Lisa Horse, 51, and Tanya Nelson, 58, began slapping each other around after one accused the other of being in the wrong line, according to court documents viewed by the outlet. And Carnival Cruises attracts a wide variety of guests with budget-friendly Caribbean cruises, which start at less than $200 per person, according to the company's website. Look, man, I can't ignore what the obvious thing is in these videos. If you look at these fights that have occurred with Carnival Cruise, and oftentimes in general, when we see these types of incidences occurring, there's something terribly wrong with our culture. And when I say our culture, I'm talking about us as Black people. There's something terribly wrong with our culture. Now, I can get on here and you can get on here in the comment section. Other people can respond to this video and give their takes, and it could be an hour-long video about what exactly is causing all of this. The fact of the matter is, is that throughout our country in general, there has been a breakdown when it comes to normal society, what used to be normal societal behavior, politeness, you know, having common courtesy for other people, acting as an adult, emotional intelligence, self-responsibility, self-control, impulse control, all these things that have separated us from animals for hundreds of thousands of years, you know, these things are breaking down. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I actually am starting to believe that in general, at least when it comes to our behavior, the human race is devolving. I can't say we're getting smarter because we're not. We have more information to, you know, at our behest, you know, when needed, but we are using this information usefully. We have relied, we become, you know, intellectually, we become too lazy. I think that we honestly have engaged ourselves in indulging in too much intellectual junk food, which is social media. You know, and just the things that we digest on a daily basis, it's repulsive. The thing, the music we listen to, you know, the people who are so-called, you know, role models, everything is contributing to this. Our upbringing, the breakdown of family, the removal of religion, which often give us the structure we need to behave ourselves or try to behave ourselves in a more civil manner. Because church is not all just about preaching and all that. Church was in our culture as kids and in the Black community and young adults. The elders in the church will often be role models for us as far as give us, you know, sage advice on how to conduct ourselves. You know, you could have some of your best conversations, you know, man to man or woman to woman with those in church. You know, not the sedity ones who just putting on fronts, but the ones who really, you know, are there to try to provide a service. And that's missing today. There's so many different things going on, man. I can't really explain all this stuff in a 10 to 15 minute video. I really can't. But this is sad. You can't even go anywhere in today's society. You can't go anywhere to get away from certain people and behaviors. It's in your face. You know, now look, I'm going to say this, and I don't know how people are going to take this. I know a lot of us get irritated at this term fatigue because we know what it's inferring, right? But stuff like this is not helpful combating that dumb shit. It's not. It's not helpful. When you have grown-ass people, as it appeared in this video, fighting what appears to be a young girl. You know, that type of behavior, and that's another thing too. And I'm gonna say this before I end this video. When I saw what I saw in this video, what appears to be, although the article says it was more than one gender, but it seems like in this particular video, the people who were doing most of the fighting were females, right? If they're just simply banned and not actually really truly held accountable, because if they're just, okay, if they're banned from Carnival Cruise, right? Are they allowed on some other potential, you know, budget saver cruise? And so they're on the ban list, fine. But is that really a punishment for this type of behavior? Because I know, I'm certain if these were Black males predominantly, you know, getting into a brouhaha on camera, more than likely they would have been arrested and they'd have been charged with something. So this is another situation where, I'm sorry, women aren't held accountable the same way that men are. Period. It's a fact. The crime statistics, all of this stuff, that backs it up. The eye test backs it up. The reports that we can read about and evidence we see on social media. The way people, have double standards when it comes to women committing, especially women who are attractive, committing crimes versus, someone who isn't attractive or is simply male. But I'm not going to be getting on this shit anytime soon. And what a black eye these cruises are having, man. If it's not, people, shitting all over the deck or getting sick with, bugs or viruses that have been laying dormant for decades, or getting into, fisticuffs, with other people off of the, petty ass fucking hood beefs that you taking thousands of miles away, acting like a goddamn idiot. Why bother? Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.